to be here. I was checking his schedule, and the first thing that caught my attention, Mary, was that you were going to go to Calgary. Now, that is not a spot for Bollywood actors. That's not a typical spot. They go to these typical basic pockets. Okay, so Calgary is not one of them. It's awfully cold. So, what were you doing in Calgary?
Okay, so we're gonna apparently the interview has started. So
it is not interview.
And you got to know that she's doing this for the first time and she's doing a good job, right? So far, you got to give it. I would like to have an idea of how many people here know Tamil. I have to apologize that I'm not able to speak in Tamil or in Telugu or in Marathi, which I would have loved to, and I will switch between these languages as we go along, but we'll have to stay with the common English for the time being. I was an exchange student about 18 years ago, about 21 years ago in a place called Sitaarre, which is in the wild prairies of the West. So here was this Tamil Brahmin, what do you call Tambram Ayingar boy from Bihar. He was born and brought up in Bihar, and who was 17 years old, and suddenly I realized that I didn't want to do things the common way in school. I was finding an escape from Jamshedpur, which was a very meticulous, very Victorian sort of a town. And the only way I could leave that town was, the reason being, my parents were very powerful people in that town. They were very in high position in Tata Steel and in the bank that my mother was working, and I didn't have an identity of my own, which I loathed a lot. So many guys, let's go to some other place where we can create our own mischief. I applied to the Rotary Exchange, and my first real achievement in life was to actually get through as an exchange student and go to Canada. In Jamshedpur, where I was living at that time, the weather was plus 38 degrees centigrade. I left from Calcutta on the 24th of Jan, and on the 26th of Jan, I was in Calgary at minus 31 degrees centigrade. So I remember going to school, and we have a lot of things we have to discuss today, so I want to quickly touch upon it. Obviously, in Jamshedpur, I got to say, very strangely, and I'm going to say this very scandalous things today. One of them being that India is a very racist country. We have to admit that. Okay? And we're shamelessly racist, and we're very good at it. It doesn't matter at all. The reason I'm saying is that I was a Tamilian. I was born and brought up in Bihar. Everybody used to call me Abhay Sala Khatta hai. Call me Madrasi. Discriminate against me because they used to think all these Madrasis are not physically fit. So, it has to always happen. The point is, nobody told me it was racial discrimination or discrimination. So I was cool. It was every day, it's cool. So I went to, so I wasn't burdened with the idea of look out for racial discrimination so that you can fight it. I didn't even know what it was. So I went to Canada, and it was great. I mean, it's a place full of rednecks, but it was great. And my initiation into the school the first day at minus 30 degrees was that they asked me to come in and they welcomed me in all their ways. I was told as an exchange student briefing wise, yaar, sabko dekh ke muskurao, be smile, be nice to everybody, wish everybody and everything. So I was wishing everybody. And then the guy called me and said, hey, you know what? We have an initiation ceremony, so all you have to do. I said, yeah, I'm ready to do. What do you want me to do? So you just run out over there and there's a flagpole, you just have to lick it and come back. Now, I don't know how many of you have been minus 30. But yeah, you have. So let me tell you the dangers of licking a metallic pole at minus 30. Basically what happens, if you talk in terms of physics, all the water vapor from your tongue gets sucked out and stuck to the flagpole, and your nose also gets stuck to the pole, and you get a first degree burn. I didn't know that. I said, yaar, khambe ko to lick marna hai, kar deti hai. What was the big deal? So I went there and I very gallantly put one big slurpy tongue and stuck there promptly. They had to bring hot water and pour it and get me out of there. And that was my first initiation to Canada and in Sitaarre. So I'd gone back after 21 years to take revenge.
All right. Good job. Good job.